and welcome back at ARIS TV. This is Erik Brabener and I'm still the same, even I have this strange beard now. And today I would like to talk with you about governance, risk and compliance management, because at the 17th of September we had our first GRC conference at Vienna in Europe. And today I invited Elke Bastian, who helped organizing this event and who was of course a participant with this at this event. So Elke, perhaps you can give our audience a little feedback on the GRC conference.
Yes, of course, Eric. We had more than 90 participants from all over Europe and some very interesting customer presentations. And I also filmed an interview with Martin Kling from IDS Scheer and Markus Dobmeyer from Infineon. He told us something about the SOX project at Infineon, where they used ARIS. And he gave some very interesting tips and lessons learned about GRC.
Hey, this sounds good. Tips and tricks and lessons learned about GRC projects. So that's what we would like to show you now. Have fun watching it at ARIS TV.
Hello everybody, welcome to the first European GRC Conference of IDS Scheer in Vienna. Today I have the pleasure to have with me Markus Dobmeyer from Infineon Technologies. Markus is working at the Audit and Risk Management Department at Infineon and was so nice to give us a speech on the project of SOX compliance at Infineon Technologies. Welcome, Markus.
Yeah, hello.
Markus, Infineon started quite early with SOX activities. What can you tell us about it?
Yeah, we started already at the end of the calendar year 2004 because it was required by the governance of the United States. But this was the first dry run, I would say, because it was not required to be SOX compliant in this year because we're a foreign company. So we implemented in fiscal year 2005-2006 the internal control system, and therefore we used ARIS to document and to reduce our efforts.
What were your main targets for this project?
Yeah, the main target is of course the SOX compliant. With this we have to ensure that we are SOX compliant, and the other targets were to reduce the efforts, to track our test cases, to track our deficiencies, and at the end to remediate it.
So this was quite a challenge, Markus. Why did you decide to implement ARIS for that?
Yeah, of course this was really a challenge. To give you an overview, we had to handle 1,300 controls with 300 testers. And we have to track them, we have to coordinate them, and so we needed an automated process and of course a tracking tool where we can track all these testers and also the test cases. So this was the reason why we decided on the one hand side to implement ARIS, and on the other hand side we needed an adequate tool where also the external auditor approved and committed that we can use it.
Okay, Markus, today on your presentation during this conference you already spoke a lot about lessons learned from the project of implementing ARIS for Sarbanes-Oxley. Can you repeat some of those statements for our TV listeners that they gain a benefit to take away?
Yes, of course. As we implemented this internal control system named SOX, we had really a lot of lessons learned. To give you a short overview about the implementation, what we learned is that you have to spend the time at the beginning. I would say 3 months is enough to define all the criteria and the most important topics. This is really worth. The second one is now we have a tool where we can track our tester and also the test cases, and at the end the deficiencies where we can remediate it. And really a good point was as well to compare processes and to optimize it or to standardize it. or to implement it as well worldwide. This is a huge effort, but we learned it.
During your presentation, you said that the quality of testing improved by implementing the workflow. How that?
Yeah. When you see that we started with Excel files, then you can imagine how we improved with this flow and the tool. Because we provide the tester with all the information in the tool from the process point of view, from the control content, and with the test definitions. And so the tester went to the control performer and performed his test cases. So and therefore, it was a big optimization of our testing.
That's good to hear. Infineon is very successful in managing its SOX activities. Today we have the AIDS directive of the European Commission and the local regulations, the local law. How do you think is the impact on Infineon for that?
You mentioned already that we were successful in the past. We reached the SOX compliance now for every year, and therefore we can be proud. Additional to this, we are improving our control setup. And yeah, you mentioned that we have Euro SOX, for instance, to implement. But for this case, I'm not afraid. We are now well prepared to have a working, effective, and I would say an efficient internal control system in this.
That's good. Thanks very much for your time, for being here, and for your presentation of this conference.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank
Markus.
you very much. Bye.